Welcome back to Baldeykino, everyone, here in Farming Simulator 22. Last episode finished that big canola contract over on Field 4, I think it was. All 32 and some odd hectares of that. That was big, and yeah, big payoff. A little over $50,000 from that contract. Now here we are in August on our farm, and look how our corn has grown. It's not ready to harvest yet, but I'm going to check our other fields. Oh, corn is looking nice, though. So yeah, you know, August was the month I kind of figured we might be able to get into harvest time for our fields, and if what I'm seeing in the distance is correct, it looks like our wheat, well, let's go have a look. I thought we might have some crops to harvest in August, and it looks like it might be harvest time for our farm, a time that I've been looking forward to for a long time. And yeah, let's come up here and, whoops, pile of rocks there, darn it. Oh, look at that. Our wheat is ready to harvest. Okay, neither of our cornfields are, but no, I wouldn't expect to harvest the corn until probably October at the soonest. Let's see here. Ooh, look at this. So finally, it's harvest time for our wheat. Maybe do something different with this field next time, so I quit driving through it. It's in kind of an awkward spot, but this was if you'll recall back, this was the first field here that we planted on our property. What about our potatoes? They look like they could be. Yeah, the potatoes are ready to harvest too. Oh, wow. Both of our wheat fields and our potatoes. That's what it looks like. And is it... Whoa, there's that sorghum field in the distance, and that is ours to harvest. It's a contract. We'll be getting paid for it. It's not our crop, but that is going to be income for us. It's a contract that I already said that, you know, I already promised several months ago. And yeah, both of our wheat fields are ready to harvest, as well as this really big, it's about 12 hectares. I keep forgetting. I think it's about a 12-hectare field. Yeah. So that is a lot of harvesting. I mean, these right here, these are our fields, obviously, and this is the big field here that we have contract for, the sorghum. And our corn, it still needs, obviously, a few more months. Wow, look at that sorghum field. That is beautiful, just like I thought it would be. Now, what is this up here? This field looks... What happened to this field up here? Well, last month, it was all beautiful and yellow, and it is, I guess, it has been harvested. It would seem so. All right, then. Huh, last month, it wasn't ready to harvest, but here in August, it has been harvested, so it would seem. All right. Make this turn barely. Well, let's get back to our property. Now, it occurs to me, I'm not sure if we have a tool to remove the foliage off the potatoes. I'm going to have to review our potato harvesting equipment, because we've been gathering equipment in anticipation of this harvest for quite a while, but I'm not sure if we have the tools to remove the foliage from the potato crop. Yeah, we're gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go through here, and we're gonna have to kind of review our equipment, see what we've got, and get equipment staged and set up and ready for this. Whoop. Come on, brakes, work. Slow down for the rocks. So I did get the rest of the canola from that field, which we deposited down at the collective farm silo. I got the rest of that here in our silo. And we should see it all in here. Yep, 22,000 liters of canola sitting there in our silo tank. Now, we're going to be best off waiting until probably November to sell that. If we go here, we can see it has gone up a little bit since last month, but still, we're going to want to wait a few months. And that $50,000 that we got paid for that contract will be eclipsed by... Well, not totally eclipsed, but we will probably make more from selling that canola if we wait. So the equipment we're going to want, this is what I've been looking forward to, guys. The equipment we want for harvesting our fields, we have here, except for... All right, so we got a potato planter. A potato harvester is over here. And... unless this also, well, let's check it out. Unless this also removes the foliage. Let's see. Okay, so here's our potato harvester in our garage here, and it says you do not require a halum cutter before using this machine. Yeah, I was looking at it right here, and I was thinking, you know, this looks like it has a cutter in front of it. I'm not a real I don't really know how this works a lot. That's why I looked it up, of course. And it says it does not require a cutter in front. So, yeah, there was, this is not the cheapest harvester. There's definitely more affordable options. I think I've gotten this used. I forget. It's been a while since we bought this. I bought this in anticipation of this harvest, and this can be run by our AGCO tractor. You know, I didn't check that, but we should be able to. Ooh, actually, it's going to be tough. It says it requires 150 horsepower. Well, we're going to have to do it with a 90 horsepower tractor. Yeah, I just checked. A 95 horsepower tractor is going to have to do it because we need narrow tires so that we don't crush the crop. So, well, that's just going to have to work, but we do have the tools we need. Now for the wheat, what we're going to do, and I've gone over this a couple episodes ago, we're going to be using our new Russell Mash harvester here, which is going to be perfect for our small wheat fields. However, when it comes to the sorghum, well, the big sorghum field that I drove past, well, this is what we're going to be using there too because it's all we got. So let's see. Let's get this out here and get this staged for the wheat. Now, do we need any of this stuff? No, this is all planting stuff. So we can park some tools out here if we need. We don't need this just yet. We will want this swath picker. But our first thing we're going to do with the wheat is we're going to be mowing it. Because we're going to do, as I've said before, swath style cropping. So first we're going to mow it and into windrows, and then we're going to pick up the windrows, the swaths, with that. And where did I put our mower? Why am I not seeing it? Oh, there it is. It's down here by that deer. Look out, deer. Coming back with the harvester. So this harvester may be small, but he can pack a punch. Now, yeah, you know, it just occurred to me for the sorghum. Sorghum, I don't think, is a crop that we can harvest with a mower. I don't think so. You know, it never occurred to me. But we're going to need a regular grain header for that, I'm thinking. Besides, doing swath cropping on that field, I think would simply be far too big a task for this little harvester, because it would mean covering the entire field twice with this guy. For our small fields, though, it's going to be great. And I want to do, this is our property here, and I want to do the swath style cropping on our property. I'm not as concerned with that. That's a contract. It is for a family member. It's for my uncle, but yeah, so let's get this started here. As long as I got this machine here, I want to do some of the harvesting. Let's see how this is. I'll show you how this is going to go with this. So this is a mower, but it won't mow this meadow grass that we're sitting in here. It won't pick this up. This is, well, I mean, look, come on, these are big blades. It's not going to pick this up, but it will cut down the wheat, and that's why this harvester is so valuable. Make sure everything's set up on this. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think we're good to go for this. Wow. Man, this, I mean, we planted this field so far at the beginning of this series. And this is the first harvest of this field. I can't believe it's true, but yeah, it is. This is the first harvest of this field. So we're going to come through here. You see it's just leaving a swath of wheat. Now, we're going to, when we come through with the pickup header, we're going to get way more yield. This harvester likes to get stuck in first gear sometimes. We're going to get way more yield. Well, not way more, but I don't know, 10 or 20% more yield than we would with just a conventional grain header. This is going to turn out to be way better for us, yield-wise, which is pretty good. And here soon we'll be able to start making our own pig feed for our pigs. I haven't checked on our pigs in a little bit, but they're still fine. But now we'll be able to make our own pig food for them, which was one thing I really wanted to achieve here, is a pig farming empire, among other things. This is really cool, and this is why I like this harvester. This harvester is really good at this. Other equipment, including equipment that is intended for swath cropping, would have drug that grass into that, making that a righteous mess. I've done this before, and it would have ended up as just a serious, serious mess. No, we could go back east through this. Let's actually let me see here. Let's come down this way. Well, I don't want to double up that swath. I don't know how this is gonna come out. So, ooh, this is the top speed. We have reached the vehicle's top speed. Yes, I made 2 trips back from the store at this speed. And let me assure you, well, it's slow. So let's see. I could have come back up, but it would have doubled that swath, which may end up doing. I'm trying to figure out if I go. Yeah, I'm trying to figure this out. Well, how about we just, while I think about what the best way is to do this, I might end up doubling one of these swaths. I don't see why not. I might end up doing it actually because I do not want to make a full trip down the length of the field each time. While I may kind of know what I'm doing here, this is really my first time doing this. Well, definitely here. This is really our first harvest here. I mean, of our own fields. Yeah, I think it is. I think this is the first harvest of our fields here. This has been a long series, but this is the first harvest of our fields. I planted this wheat, I believe in, well, y'all were here for that. It must have been last fall. Yeah, there's no need to, we can come back up the south side of the field. This is working just fine. We'll come back up the south side of the field. We don't have to make super thick swaths. I don't want to have a huge mountain of wheat that gets our equipment hung up on it or something like that. I love using this old equipment. It's pretty cool. But you know what's even cooler is that big harvester we got to use on that huge Titanic canola field. Whoops. And soon it'll be cool. We'll be able to, well, maybe not soon, but we'll get to have cool equipment like that. But in the meantime, well, okay, yeah, I guess we are going to kind of have a mountain of wheat there. Well, that's okay. We'll see how it works. Anyway, but in the meantime, I think it's fun working up to that big equipment. And with the money we'll be bringing in, I think we're now moving into the most productive season here because now we're harvesting our fields along with any other contracts we may be taking. Yeah. And I will find out exactly what we're getting paid for that sorghum field there because I'm not sure yet. I'll find out about that. But here in the next couple of months, it's going to be the most fun work. My favorite work, of course, is harvesting. And we're going to have a lot getting done. And yeah, simply because of the shape of this field, wheat swaths are going to get piled up on one another. So I don't know why I was even worrying about that at the beginning. Any other machine, for instance, I've shown this before. If you were to get into swath cropping, the machine it comes with is this guy here. Great mower. And I've said this before. Yeah, it would absolutely be at home here on this map. This mower here, and it comes with a really wide header on it, but it will pick up that grass and bring it into your field. It creates a heck of a mess. This is the machine you want to work with on the outside of your field. So we're going to come down here, and it's just going to, because the field is tapered in shape, it's going to mix it into big, thick swaths. We'll just have to deal with it. It'll be fine. And, of course, other machines can also mount pickup headers. This one's really good at it because this one can also do its baling of the straw. So when we come back through this with the pickup header, we'll be able to pick up the wheat. The machine will sort out the wheat and the straw, and then the big baler in back will bale the straw for us. It's a really nice combo platter of a machine here. I love our little wheat field. It's small, and well, it reminds me of the start of the farm because when we started here, this was all we could do. It was this little field. It was our start. Yep, that's a lot of wheat piled up there. It'll be fine. Kind of because this is what we got to deal with. And then that one right there, that was our second field we made. Well, yeah, first, second, and then those two right there. Once I decided we were going to do pig farming, well, that cornfield's going to be fun. I like our little cornfield. Corn always takes me back to where I grew up, as I've mentioned before. Yeah, this is just going to be a little messy here where this comes to a point. Yeah, it kind of is. This field has already been a pain in the butt because I've driven through it a couple times on accident when I couldn't push the brakes down hard enough. I slid into it a couple times, and because it comes to a point, it's just going to have a massive swaths all through it. Might end up repurposing this field in some way, or maybe converting it, maybe growing potatoes here. Could be the answer. Maybe growing potatoes here, where we don't have swaths end up intersecting. Might not be a bad idea. I'll see. That's something that I didn't take into consideration when I planted this. I knew that we were going to do this style of harvesting when I planted it, but I didn't think about the repercussions of its shape. And if I stop the harvester here and hop out, yeah, we can see, you can see their wheat swaths. It's pretty cool looking, huh? I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, we're going to get a lot more yield out of that. Fun, just kind of a fun side note about different kinds of harvesting. Here where I live, there's a cornfield, and I for the last few years I never saw it harvested ever. It's a field I drive by every day, and it's always a cornfield, and I would just never see it harvested. October, November, December, and the corn would just still be there. Even in December, the corn would still be there, just flattened on the ground practically, because it had been, dried out and brown for so long, is falling on the ground. And I always wondered, what do they do with that field? And fun little thing. Just today, actually, I was going to town and I drove past it, and they have a harvester out there. And hey, what do I know about farming? I know about farming here. Farming simulator, right? But today I drove by that field, February 18th, and they had a harvester out there, and I was like, okay. I know they must do something with this. So for whatever reason here, because I was talking about different kinds of harvesting. Well, for whatever reason, that one particular cornfield here, they wait at least this year until February, apparently, because today I saw it parked out there to harvest it. Maybe one of you guys can fill me in on that in the comments. Across the street from it is a huge cornfield, and they harvest that with a forage harvester, in like, I don't know, it's still green when they harvest it, so that's like September or something. August or September, they harvest that one. Probably September. I don't pay attention, but I do know they go through with a forage harvester. But anyway, I thought I'd mention that as a thing regarding other methods of harvesting and what people do with it. Okay, so the swaths aren't becoming that big of a mess, really. They're all intersecting, yeah, but they're intersecting as if we're doing this in the same way in parallel lines. It's not making the huge mess that I feared that it might, and that's cool. I'm curious to see what kind of yield we'll get out of this. It should be pretty good. Of course, we will have a bit of a mess when I come for this last pass. And this little machine is just right for the size of our fields. And one last pass here. Here, let's whoa, there we go. Enjoy the inside of our Neva. Yeah, we'll just lay it right here on top of this one. Alright, so that's ready to run the pickup through. And let's get a little look on how that all works. Yeah, it can't hurt. Yeah, it can't possibly hurt. I mean, I can go ahead and harvest the other one, but let's go ahead and get a look at how that works. Let's just drop this off up here. Oh, you know what? Oh, we got to drive all the way up here. Well, it's not. It's just right there. Yeah, but this thing is incredibly slow. So let's drop this mower off while we're down here. Let's drop this mower off here because we're going to want it for our other field. And I imagine this is going to fill up pretty fast because we have a pretty small hopper in this machine. Now, if you'll look down by my tachometer, you'll see that there's a capacity for straw and bales and wheat. Well, that will be wheat. It's blank now because there's nothing in here. But once you pick that up, it'll start filling up with wheat and straw and bales. Man, yeah, this thing is a multitasker. So we're going to drop, let's see. Now, is this folded? Okay, yeah, it was already unfolded. So we need to, with this, we need to lower it down, and we need to make sure to unfold it, which lowers the pickup on it. And we'll get this turned on down here. As simple as that. And we're filling up. And once it fills up with straw, we'll go ahead and make a bale. We'll want to stop for that, I think. And you don't want to drive over. You want to kind of... It's been a while since I've run this. The last time I did this was when I was testing Baldeykino for the year before I did this. I made sure this would work, and it's been a while anyway. Oh, that's right. It was just filling that up. Now it's filling up the bale. Okay. Pretty cool to watch it work, though. Oh, we're stuck in first gear again. Dang it. I just noticed. Yeah, I mentioned something in the last episode about some of the machines getting stuck in gear. This one's notorious for it. It loves to get stuck in first. Always have a shift up, key bound, even if you're in automatic. I have a manual shift between forward and reverse, but my gears are automatic. Nevertheless, always have shift up bound. Alright, so this will hold a decent amount of this field at its capacity. I will want to stop once the bale fills up. Very cool. Get this all in one pass, the wheat and the straw. I dig it. Oh. Did I turn that off too soon? I'm not sure what caused me to miss that. Maybe that was just I wasn't paying attention there. Well, let's get it now then. This thing has some... What's the word? This thing has some idiosyncrasies. I missed some there, and yeah, there is something about doing this. It'll refresh my memory as we go on with this. There are some idiosyncrasies in operating this very classic machine. Yeah, it definitely has some things it likes to do weird sometimes. And I'll see that as we go through here. Oh, stuck in first gear. Let's shift it up. Yeah, these old machines, they can be cantankerous. Alright, now as we come to... Let's go ahead and just apply the brakes. Let's back up just a little bit. There we go. Get that bale out. And if I remember, I think these are pretty good sized bales. Yeah, those are darn big bales. They're very big bales, 9,000 liters. Alright, they're kind of unique shape too. I like them. So let's continue down this. Yeah, I really love some of this old machine. Shift up with a lot of character to it. And that's one reason I wanted to get this machine. It has a lot of character. Stuff you don't see. Well, you know what they say. They don't make them like they used to, right? And that is us with a full... I just noticed. That is us with a full hopper. Oh, and yeah, you want to watch for that. So that, I believe, is just straw. Once it stopped picking up wheat, it just started, again, idiosyncratic. Once we picked up all the wheat, then it just starts, yeah, that's straw. It just started cranking out. You can tell, obviously, by looking at the textures, what it is. So we're going to need to get our tipper over here. Now, for the tipper, yeah, I'm going to use the Belarus because we're going to want the AGCO we're going to use for the potato harvesting. So we'll just go ahead and get the Belarus hitched up to our tipper there. I haven't used the Belarus. It's been sitting over here for a couple months. I think the last time I got it out, whoops, I didn't mean to do that, but that works. I think the last time I got it out was when I accidentally kind of tipped over the AGCO. And oh, no, that was the other Belarus tractor, so this has been in here for a while. Yeah, that was the old Belarus we used to have. I brought that out of here to tip over the AGCO tractor that... Oh, we're getting the tipper, that's right. Oh, I missed this tractor. This tractor's fun. I like this guy here. Well, this guy's going to get some more field time because once we're done harvesting, we're going to need it to plant such like that. And he could use a wash. Yeah, after we're done with all this work, it's not a bad idea. Oh, where's that gravel? Oh, we really need to get out here and fix that. Let's get up here, and I like how it squeaks, that pipe. I like how I love this old squeaky machinery. It squeaks when it comes out. Now, so that right there is straw. Nevertheless, we're going to want to drive over it so that we can go ahead and bale it. And again, this machine does have some quirks, and one of them you're about to see, because the pickup header won't pick up that straw, I don't think. But there is a way to do it. As I said, this machine is a bit quirky. You can try to pick it up. I don't think it's gonna. Let's see, let's go ahead and back up a tad. Yeah, we're good here. Turn on the pickup header, but don't think... Oh, no, it will. Okay. If it doesn't, there is another way to pick it up. Alright. Well, let's continue on with this. You always want to watch the gauges down at the bottom and stop before one of them fills up, and always stop and see if it's missed anything anyway, because it's a bit quirky. So we're going to want to stop this when it starts beeping, and it'll pick up that bale. See, because it's still, even though we stopped, it was still processing stuff. It's kind of, well, it's an old machine. See, I just picked that up. Now I got to wait for it, and it'll tick and tick and tick. See, it's got to process all the stuff he picks up. Yeah, there we go. Just wait a second, and it'll process it. Really? 3 liters short? There we go. That'll kick that bale out. Hey, it's got character. What can I say? Get that fold back up. Hopefully, if I can get this right and nail all this stuff down, I can show you guys how to properly use this guy. You won't have any problems. There is a bit of a learning curve. Alright, so right now, like the straw hopper is kind of filling up so it can start the bale. So let's go ahead and let it do its thing there. And then now it's got a start to a bale, and it's starting. And I think that's what... if you run through that, it'll dump some. You want to let it get that start to a bale there that we've got. Okay, and this time the front pickup doesn't want to pick it up. No problem. If that happens, you can do it like this. For whatever reason, this will work. Now, this next drill, I'm going to try to do right. Boy, I'm sorry I'm taking so much of y'all's time, but I told you this machine was a bit to figure out, and I am figuring it out. Let's kind of feather the throttle. There we go. Alright, so we squeak out our pipe. And this right here, now that I think about it, this is going to fill up our tipper. That's cool. You can kind of climb up these stairs here. Yeah, that's going to fill our tipper. Yeah, this is going to be a long harvest, and... well, I'm going to treasure every moment of it. This is fun. Wow, that okay, I'm sorry. The hopper and the harvester is smaller than I thought. I thought it was 5,000. All right, then. We get another go at it. That's it's not quite it. If we were harvesting in the normal fashion, it works just, if you're wondering about that. Because when we harvest the sorghum, yeah, it works just like anything else. When we will be harvesting the sorghum in that field over there, with a normal header, it works just like a normal harvester. Obviously, it won't make bales or anything like that. It'll work just like anything else. So here, I'm going to want to get this, and I'm going to want to stop kind of when it starts beeping. Let it drop the bale. Oh, that's a lot of dust, but I think we are... Yep, now I can see, and we're good. All right, now it's off to our also somewhat quirky silo. I'm glad we got these small fields to practice with this. As you can see, even though I've done it before, it's still a bit of a learning process. So it's a good thing we got these small fields to practice this style of farming. Oops, I shouldn't have parked the truck there. Well, we can squeeze through. Next time we harvest, we will undoubtedly have better equipment. Still have that little guy, yeah, but we'll have other stuff to make the swath picking more efficient. All right, now this is quirky because, well, if you saw last episode, we need to get this straightened out and block the axle. I'm gonna pull forward so far so I can, I gotta straighten it out so I can block the axle. And now it's just a matter of trying to steer an almost unsteerable trailer. Now this time we get the prompt. We weren't getting the prompt. There we go. And it's not lined up like it... Actually, there's the prompt, but... Oh, never mind. Alright, not lined up like the last time, but that will work. I want to get it as realistic as I can for this silo, and you can actually get that little grain door directly over the bin. Perhaps I would have had to pull forward again and straighten it out, but like I did in the last episode. Alright, let's get this back out to the field, and this time let's see if we can park it in a better spot. So now that we've seen how that goes, let's see how the potatoes are going to go, because this is going to be the same story throughout our wheat field. If I was doing this myself, didn't have you guys with me, I'd be fine doing all of this, but you know, at once. I mean, but in the interest of keeping things changing a little bit, let's have a look at. Let's just shut this down real quick. Let's have a look at some of the potato harvesting, because this I haven't tried here. I mean, not with the particular machinery that we have. No, I have not. I've harvested potatoes elsewhere, but not here. And not with this particular harvester. I have used its cheaper little brother, though. The one that requires a separate hallout cutter. This one I haven't used. But this is going to be the tractor we want to do it with. Now, yeah, it's about 30 horsepower down from what that says is required. And we'll just have to see how that goes. Because I'm not going to... I don't know. So this will also be somewhat experimental. And that's... Yeah, it's parked over here. But we need this guy for the narrow tires, you know. First time running this machine. It's been sitting out here for months. And I have not operated it, so let's see here. I'm going to have a look at some of its functions. Well, let's get it down here. I'm going to leave that window up. This should be a pretty simple matter of... Well, I wanted to see if... Oh, this drops it straight back. Yeah, I was going to look to see if there's any controls as to which direction to drop it. I think it's going to drop it straight back. Oh, well, it's good we got some of our wheat harvested. We got room to... Or all of our wheat harvest, I should say. We got room to maneuver this down here now. So this is obviously going to be a long process, as any potato job is, because narrow working with the machines. Yeah, it just takes so much work to dig up these potatoes. All right. So let's see. I guess we're going to want to... Well, let's unfold it. And that should be all there is to it. Except, does it? It does. All right. Let's see if this little tractor can pull this guy. Yeah, no problem. Those horsepower requirements, they're not super strict. You can get around those. We did the narrow tires. You definitely do need. But we're running about 30 horsepower down, and look at this thing just dig these guys up. That's really going. It's chugging right along. Maybe a narrow working with. It's chugging right along. Now I want to have a look at this. When we finish this row, I want to have a look at this on the map and make sure that we are indeed good. Harvesting potatoes. This is going to be pig food. Yeah, we're going to be hauling this down. There's a place where we can make pig food down by the collective farm silo. Oh, that's beautiful. Let's check this out on the old mappy here. Yeah, that looks good. And let's hop out of the tractor. Yeah, that's all good. And that's going to be a lot of potatoes. If anything, this harvest here is going to make me want to invest in a different tipper, which actually reminds me, there's a question right there. You know, I hadn't given any thought to how we're going to move the potatoes. Yeah, it's always something you want to consider. Well, since we are not millionaires, it looks like we're going to be using old Mr. Bucket here. Yeah, I think so. we'll get our front loader practice in for sure. So I'm going to do some runs of these potatoes here. This is pretty straightforward harvesting. Not at all quirky, obviously, like the swath cropping. We're going to want to go over a little bit. Yeah. Let's check that on the map here. I fear that I missed a little bit. It's too small to tell. Whoops. Sorry. Bumped my mouse over there. Well, it's just, you know, it's just narrow working with, and you just got to deal with that. So basically it's like, what, 2 rows at a time? If it's only gonna take 2 rows, see, it's leaving some of them. So what we'll do is, instead of sitting between the tires, I'm still figuring some of this out. This is our first potato farm. We're just gonna sit, if it's only gonna take 2 rows, you know, we'll just center it on those 2 rows, because that's all it's gonna do. This is why you want to make potato fields ideally long and narrow. Make the passes, you know, longer and less painful if you just do several long, narrow passes. So this time, again, I have extra on the edge to pick up, so we're going to go in super shallow. It turns out, both our potatoes and our wheat are proven to be a little... Well, there's always a challenge on the farm. All right, so I'm going to center this guy right here. Well, the potato harvesting is going fine, although it's a bit, I guess it's just the thing of this harvester. It's leaving some here and there that I'll have to come back and get. But, you know, potatoes are, regardless, they're going to make a mess all over your field. And I think the only thing we have to come back, you know, the only thing we have to pick it up with anyway is the shovel. So it's just going to require a lot of loading. How much? I don't know. I have loaded potatoes before with a shovel, and though potatoes are very high yield, the shovel, at least from past experiences, it does kind of scoop more than you might think. And I think I have an idea how we can increase productivity and speed on the wheat field as well. And when we get back to that, well, I'm going to try that. First, I'm going to finish up here. And this is really working pretty well. There's a lot of things that are happening I just didn't have to worry about, as I try to always do everything perfect, and then I'm leaving these potato plants here, but just come back and get those. It's not an issue. And I'm going to test scooping these here, and then I have a very simple solution to the wheat harvesting that, as I mentioned, sometimes that harvester, actually fairly here and there, it does this thing where it likes to drop straw at the back. And I was thinking about that. I think we're just not going to worry about that. It picks up the wheat regardless, so I'll show you what we're going to do about that. It would be easier if we had a baler, but we don't. First, let's see here. I'm going to get some of these potato plants that it left, because there's no reason not to get these little missed potato plants here. This is going to be a bit, I know I said it already, it's going to be a busy harvest season. So let's drop our, we're going to have tools scattered everywhere. Let's go ahead and drop this off. Now, one thing I want to do, just like anything else, potatoes can really, whoops, there's that pile of gravel again. Just like anything else, potatoes, they could add up in weight. And this is why I have, well, you know, as a counterbalance in general for loading, in general, have a counterweight here, a weight. Because I anticipate, just like anything else, their weight is going to add up. And let's see what kind of dent we could put in this field with a bucket. Because that is an awful lot, naturally. Let's see here. And yeah, it is. Well, come on, little bucket. That's acceptable. I mean, if you've ever run a loader, you know it's not too hard to put 6, 7, 8 hours in a session, and that's not that bad. What I'm saying is, I've run loaders for a long periods of time sometimes. That's not as much work as it might look like it is. It's not that bad. So we got the tractor parked over here off of our Windrow. So what I'm going to do with this guy this time. Well, first, we're going to offload a small amount of wheat we've got. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to worry about the straw. Not too much. I do definitely recommend stopping when it puts out the bales. I will do that. I'm not going to worry about it other than that. Because it will get all the wheat off the field. And that's what we need the harvester for. Man, I do got to change those keybinds. Look at that. My turn signal's on again. Well, I thought they'd be handy where they are, and that they are. But I'm always hitting somehow that. I must be bumping with my leg when I get out. Alright, so I haven't thought about what we're doing with the straw. I guess we're... Oh, well, we need it for our pigs. There is that. We need straw for our pigs. Hey, so this farm is like the complete circle of life here for our pigs. Potatoes and corn to make pig feed, and straw for their bedding. So what we're going to do here is I am going to stop for the bales, because otherwise you will end up with a mountain of straw underneath the bales. However, I'm not going to worry about it outside of that, because this will pick up the wheat, and that's all that matters. Straw can be dealt with in a number of ways. Well, guys, so got the potato field harvested, and I see we can make progress loading it with the loader. Got this field mostly done here, and that's how the wheat's going to go, except I'll get this streamlined a little bit more once I get the hang of this a little bit more, and things will get done. And soon we'll be tackling that massive sorghum field, and that harvesting will go normally because I'll be using a normal grain header for that. So I will catch you guys in the next one as we continue with our very interesting harvest here. You know, it tossed me some challenges off the start, and we're going to see how this goes. And I will catch up with you guys in the next one once I get some more work done here. There's lots to do here on the farm. Finally, it was so slow over the spring and summer. Well, you know, until that big canola contract. But now things are anything but slow. So I'll catch you guys next time here in Baldeykino.